Hi everyone, my name is Grace Potts. Today I'm going to be talking to you about why we should not buy animal tested products. So let's start with what I'm not going to talk about. I'm not going to tell you to cut out animal tested products entirely. That's actually really difficult to do. I'm not going to make you go vegan, go join PETA, save the world, and I'm not going to ask you to personally shut down the animal testing industry. But what I am going to talk about is becoming aware and cutting back, because those are the things that really can make a difference. Just doing your part is what's so important with this topic because it's so prevalent in our society and a lot of people really aren't aware. So some of you may be wondering, what really is animal testing? You've heard of it, you think you know kind of what happens with it, but you're not really sure. According to the Humane Society International, animal testing is procedures done for research in medicinal products. This is usually for human health or for environmental safety. And along with that, that's usually forced chemical exposure, inflictions of burns, wounds on animals, and they usually do this to study the healing process on the animal. So a lot of people are actually really shocked by what animals are used for testing. Most of us think it's rats, rodents, animals that some of us don't really pay any attention to. But actually, according to the American Anti-Vivisection Society, it is rodents, but it's also non-human primates, monkeys, chimpanzees, and household pets. Most of us know someone or personally have a household pet, so this can be something that's really alarming and can cause us to think, man, maybe I should actually go more towards products that aren't tested on animals. So products used for testing, this is actually really widespread. We see some big name brands like Lysol and L'Oreal. So cosmetics, L'Oreal, Maybelline, anyone that wears makeup, you're probably really familiar with these brands and they do test on animals. Along with household items, things that you use to clean every day, things that you use in your home, hand soap. Companies like Lysol, SC Johnson, those are big brands that do test on animals. And medication. So medication is actually required by law to be tested on animals, so that's just something that, we have to deal with at the moment. You can't go to your pharmacist and say, can you switch me to a medication that's not tested on animals? It's not an option, unfortunately, but it's something to keep in mind. So why do companies test? If it's something that's so bad and wrong, why do companies continue to do this? According to the Humane Society International, companies test so that they can include new ingredients in their products. They want to add something that hasn't been used before and they have to see how it's going to work out. And for sale in China. Any product that's sold in China, China requires that it's tested on animals. And as most of us know, there's a huge market in China for any product. There's so many people living there. There's such a booming economy. They want to sell their product in China because that's going to make them a lot of money. And that's according to Humane Society International. So let's talk about the statistics. Let's talk about the numbers. Humane Society says that there are over 500,000 plus animals tested on each year. And there are actually 38 countries currently with a full or partial ban, which is really encouraging. And these are some of the countries that we all think, oh, they're similar to us. There's the European Union, Norway. These are countries that have completely banned animal testing, so it's definitely something that the United States can do. So why should you consider going cruelty-free? Why should you care? Well, PETA says the FDA actually reported that 92% of drugs that pass in animals actually fail in humans. So not only is it cruel, but it's wasteful. It doesn't even work the way that we think it does. And if you tell companies, hey, I don't want you to test on animals anymore, you're just going to be supporting those brands that are ethical and are doing their part. So if you tell companies to continue to support animals, they're going to continue to not test on animals. Some cruelty-free alternatives. These are pictures from my bathroom. Ignore all of the makeup stains, please. I have this brand e.l.f. and the brand Milani. These are two actually really inexpensive brands that I use for makeup. For those of you who don't know, you just put them on your face. They make you look a little better. And then there's also Mrs. Meyer's. That's a really good household brand that you can get for cleaning. There's also Method. They're a really great brand. And these brands tend to actually be less expensive than the brands that we know well that do test on animals. So if you want to learn more, some really good resources are the crueltyfreekitty.com and leapingbunny.org. If you're at the store and you're looking at this huge aisle and you're thinking, I don't even know how I'm supposed to know what is tested on animals, you just go to these websites. They have huge lists of these companies do test and these companies don't test, so it's really helpful and really easy. So I hope that today you learned a little bit more about animal testing. You're a little bit more aware of how prevalent it actually is in our society. And I hope when you leave here, you'll think a little bit more about what products you have at home and how you can do your part to help end animal testing. Thank you.